maybe a lot of you are using the browser extensions to improve your experience with web pages, to get some additional information from page, to store something, to manage information from each page. And browser extensions is perfectly like making some of things better, like making a screenshot of the page and saving it locally. But inside, as you know, it's just small HTML and CSS applications, perfectly client-side. It's only client-side, and you want to improve your client application with some server-side functionality. So you should connect somehow to it, and our application makes it. This is our shelf web clipper. This is screenshots of our applications, which developed by our company. And the main idea of this application to grab some information from pages, as images, videos, note important things if you don't want to capture anything, like just you have some thoughts and you just write it and save to our system, and capture text from the pages, so you can select the text on the page and import it to web clipper, and then you can save it to our application on Meteor site. And we have some small functionality to get articles from page. So if you found some interesting article, you can save it directly from page, just to say I know the article, and it will try to extract article from page. And the main idea about the development of web extension is cover the different browsers, because it's pretty hard to develop for completely different architecture. Like for example, Chrome and the Firefox have a pretty different architecture of extensions, or on Firefox side it's add-ons, which is use a XUL architecture, which is pretty complicated comparing with Chrome extensions API. But Opera and Edge at base use the same API, which is using Chrome. A little bit different, but is the same architecture. So the main idea of our approach is connect our web clipper to main application via DDP. Previously we have a meetup with our cool guys, which had been about React Native and connecting the application with DDP on Meteor site, which is use different approach. This one is using the DDP connection from client library, which is called Asteroid, and by this we are achieve all actions which we are needed as providing Meteor like server-side solution for extension. So why we are doing it? We want to make solid product which will have a rich like web application which works perfectly on Meteor, and have some extension which will extend the experience of user with a Chrome extension. But basically not only Chrome, it's a web extension which will cover the Firefox, Edge and Opera, so we can like achieve some conversion on the user side. So we are develop a web extension because extensions have some capabilities which is not have in web applications, just like on websites. Web extensions can have screenshots, have a tab info, have a cross-domain request, which is sometimes not really easy on client side because browsers have a coarse policy, and some additional like omnibox search, which can be extended by web applications, and some bookmarks. Like you can create bookmarks, you can read bookmarks, you can do whatever you want with bookmarks, and this maybe somebody knows how to hard, for example, even save bookmark from the page, like by clicking on button. Now it's almost impossible because this actions is deprecated, and now you can make it fully only with web extensions. So this is a seamless way to users interact with overall product. You can make some quick actions to your application by extending by web extensions, and you can create the content just on each page which you open, and grab some content to our system. How it's realized? We had tried to use some framework which called Crossrider, which for current position is almost dead. It have no updates, and it's fully working only on Chrome. When it says I will work on each browser which you have, like Internet Explorer, Firefox, but currently it not work, not except the Chrome. So benefits is not so good. And biggest drawback is this framework have some limitations, as Chrome have some great API which have a lot of possibilities, which is not extended to Crossrider now. So some of possibilities which you can do at Chrome, you can't do at Crossrider, because this is like a limitation to make a work application fully on all browsers. But we want to write less code and use the same code base to use it in all browsers which we want to cover, as Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Opera. But basically Microsoft Edge, Opera, and Chrome use the same Chrome API base, which is great, but at Microsoft Edge it's just only on preview stage now. And Firefox from 45 version with some manifest modification completely achieved the, not completely, but you can make a great application already just with modification of manifest on the Firefox. So you just packages XPI on your computer, and you can install it already on Firefox. And Chrome API appears to become de facto standard for extension modern browsers, because it's have a pretty good architecture to all browsers. And there are some steps how to start with Chrome API if you're interested to write some web extension to improve some experience with web pages, or you are like developer can be interested how to write actual extension, because it can be useful in your projects. And about group, Chrome extensions group on the Google forums is updates frequently, and if you have some problems with some permissions or something, as I have previously, because I had spent a lot of time with this extension, and you can post any comments, you can create a topic, and in 2 hours someone who frequently goes to the Google groups will answer on each of your of your questions. So this is great. So there are some community which can help you to develop extensions. And extension scope is I will tell you how extension actually interact with the browser and how it works and which life cycle it have. So basically we have if you see the scheme, on the scheme you can see the background scope and the content scripts, which is basically the old browser extension, and the background scope is only have one copy. It's runs on background and reloads only when you reload the extension completely, so it can be reinstalling extension or updating or something. And the content scripts is loads on each page which you have. So if you have a lot of extensions, you can feel on the background something loads heavily, because each of extension which have a content scripts in permissions and you install it tries to get some information from each of your tab. But it's good for you because you can grab some content, and the extension can interact with the page, like get a screenshot, get some info. Next is the background scope, which I mentioned previously. It's this scope have a lot of permissions, so they can have a storage, have a change the button actions. It's like you can have a transition on browser button actions when you install. From background scope, you can regulate what action will be made by clicking on it or something else. And from background scope, you can clip each image, like each page to images, as Chrome have developed a special API which provide fully like screenshot of your page, or even screenshotting your desktop if you screens, like if you want. And it can inject scripts and styles to page, and it will make in the special sandbox scope, which is not completely, it's completely isolated. So the script scope can interact with the page completely, but page can't interact with this sandbox because it's completely isolated. So it have more permissions. And browser notifications, which is not need some like other, like if you want to make application browser notifications from your main application, you should like allow it with each, like a browser should allow it from your browser. But if you install a browser browser extension, it will send you a notification because you already like allow it when you install it. So it's easier to manage from extension. And from browser scope, you can control extension availability. It means you can restrict execution of extension on some pages, like service pages, like local pages, because Chrome have some permissions about local scope. And background scope have internal secure extension messaging, which is have like interacting only inside of your extension. So, and inside of background scope, you can specify HTML5, which will be a pop-up page, which is shown when you click on the browser action. It will like pops up, and you can provide some template inside of it and make some magic, like connect to main application, authenticate. It's an hour extension, for example, and check if user have a collection, then send message to background to change the transition of this button. And on each tab, as I say previously, we have a content script scope, which is loads, and you can see the content script can have messages between the browser background and your content script. And from your application, you can ask content script to send message background and get some information which like for screenshotting. You can't ask the page make a screenshot, because this is a top level functionality which can be hacked, and it will be not secured if it will be exposed to public scope. So content script is can ask background scope to, for example, capture the page. And our, for example, application have a post messaging to content script and connect to main application already pre-signed, because we can sign in the pop-up message and get connection already pre-signed via DDP by this application. And there we can represent quick actions which we have, and save information. And at the last, we have application stack, which is Vue.js, Asteroid, Web Components, Materialize, and Gulp. Vue.js, if you don't know about it, it's a pretty great micro template framework, which is component based, which is, if you work with Blaze on Meteor, pretty looks almost similar, but it's more lightweight and have reactive variables and broadcasting messages descendant. So if you have a parent template, you can send a message to each of your components free, and inside of component you can have a callback which will triggers only on the broadcast message, like on broadcasting. And Asteroid, in our case, Asteroid is already not provide the Bower library, and we are using a 0.7 version of Asteroid. It's already not developed, but we are using it because it's pretty stable on the different browsers. And it's all you need to communicate fully with your Meteor, and you will have reactive subscriptions, you will have your Mongo queries, you will have your user objects and other stuff like Meteor calls to the server. And for organizing good code quality and to managing templates, I had used HTML imports, which is provided by Web Components. And it's basically natively works with Chrome extension. In Chrome, you can easily use the Web Components and in our case HTML imports, which is renders immediately. But if you want to use Firefox, for example, you should provide some special callback, which is called HTML import loaded or something. And it will be a little bit slower because it's realized by polyfills. And we are using Materialize, which had been mentioned today. It's pretty lightweight, and we can use a material design basically, or base of material design to make some cool, sleek design in our application. And build scripts is built on Gulp, and we have separate commands to lint to build application. You can have a not compressed development application too, and you can make a build which is have some compression, and then you can even manage manifests, because Gulp have a special plugin which can manage manifest of the application, and you even can by Gulp build different copies for browsers. Like I can build from the command line application which is have special keys to Firefox and special keys only for Chrome, for example. So that's all. You can ask questions. Yes.
What about applications for Chrome OS? Developed in the same way, or is there?
Yes, you just should specify on your manifest special headers, which will say it's not an extension, it's actually application. And you can see only here on my browser only 2 buttons, but each Chrome applications which I have an icon here, so it's basically the same way how to create extension, but it have more permissions. It have some access of to make some views and have some routing and have access to CPU, to Bluetooth, to drive, to wherever you specify it manifest, and user will say I allow these actions on my computer. So basically,
does it work on regular Chrome browser?
Yes, it works on each platform now, as Google say. And if you will develop application which use Chrome OS API, it will be even more. You can do wherever you want, because Chrome for Chrome API, it basically only extension. These applications, the only applications which is run on Chrome OS. So you can do CPU throttling, something which is related more to server-side things, but it's a client-side things because this is basically all written on the on JavaScript. That's all.